Welcome back to The Watch, and we have some tragic news. You've probably already heard it, and you might be in mourning at the moment. Oz, did you want to let everyone know what this news is?
Yeah, the girl from the Rings of Power got the girl from Batwoman fired. There can only be one black woman on screen. Oprah's gone too.
Well, she is the first.
Yeah.
No, that's not it, Oz.
Oh yeah, Batwoman got cancelled.
We do catch ourselves a bit later, but I'll just quickly add the disclaimer now. We're actually talking about the cancellation of the Batgirl film, not the Batwoman TV series. By all reports, they're about as bad as each other, but the Batgirl film seems to have been even worse for the fact that they're not even releasing it. Alright, now we'll continue. And so, interesting, right? Mm-hmm. I had no interest in watching this movie until after I heard they cancelled it.
And now you want to watch it?
Now I really want to watch it.
Had Michael Keaton... Was it Michael Keaton?
Not for Michael Keaton, no. If it's that bad, that they would just nuke the whole project... Oh, man, I really want to watch it now. I want to see how bad it was. Like, if they... This could... Like, imagine if this was the most 3D chess marketing move to just get people interested. Because if they brought it back in release, it would be huge.
Like the Snyder Cut, but who's the director for this one?
Just for people to see the dumpster fire. It's like watching a train wreck. You just need to see what Cats was like before they tried to correct the CGI. Because it's like, how bad was it, you know?
Oh, man. What is there to say, really? I mean, what's the guy's name? The actor who was in it, who played Jim Gordon? I forget his name.
I don't know. This.
Oh,
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
that's the one.
He didn't play. No, he doesn't play Jim Gordon. He plays the villain.
He's the villain. Yeah, it's
Who was it? Who was the villain? I swear, if you say Black Mask.
No, Brendan Fraser was the villain.
Yeah, I know, but what was the villain?
Like, I don't know.
Character?
Oh, well,
I know the detective.
Guess what, guys? We have the internet at our fingertips.
Yay!
His villain is Firefly. There we go. His villain name is Firefly, not Firefly the show. That was confusing. Okay, so Brendan Fraser was playing the villain Firefly. Am I just not up to my Batgirl lore?
I don't know who that is. What a weird name for a villain. My name is Villain Firefly.
So,
Small V.
Couple of things about this whole Batgirl setup was like a dumpster fire from the beginning. It was dead upon conception. As soon as they chose to race swap Barbara Gordon, who was an iconic redhead, all right, it's not my Batgirl.
They got rid of another redhead.
Another friggin' redhead. The red apocalypse is real. Like they just have a bigotry against redheaded characters. Why do they always choose redheads? I don't get it. And what's annoying? Red hair is hot. Yeah, just another one gone. And they even dyed her hair. And it looks a bit, let's just say, not natural. Like the dye, and it's not really red hair. It's kind of
dark.
It's dark.
Brunette.
It's like
bright
brunette or brown thing.
Triss all over again.
But so already they are just destroying, the potential of this film, and then that's the outfit they made. Everyone was just noping out. I noped out when I saw that. I was like, I'm not. Who's gonna freaking give a crap? So they saw the writing on the wall. This was dead upon arrival, upon conception. The thing is, though, what is kind of annoying is they really wanted a more diverse casting for Batgirl.
Wait, they filmed a movie and they wanted in 2022 and they wanted diverse casting? You're telling me I don't believe you.
This is the thing. Other people have worn the cowl of Batgirl. This is not Batwoman, I'm sorry if we because Batwoman, different character, but several people have taken on the persona of Batgirl.
Mm-hmm. It took me a while. I thought you said warmed the cow. Like, what? You said warm the cow.
Cowl. Batgirl, what's
Batgirl Asian.
Yes, no, there's an Asian character has been Batgirl. What, they're saying they cast her? For Birds of Prey. DC for Birds of Prey. This is the thing. The comic book run of this Batgirl was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed it. She was a mute. She couldn't talk, right? And her language was by reading people's physical movements. and as a result, she could read people in combat and predict what they were going to do before they did it, and she was an insane fighter. And it was just a cool concept, the fact that she couldn't speak. And then there's an arc where, look, spoilers for the comic books, but maybe this will chuck you to it, where she actually gets speech for the first time, but that stops her ability to read people in combat, and she can't fight. And so there's moments of weakness where she's struggling and she needs it, and it's like, it's actually a really cool comic book run. They could have done her. She's not wearing the Batgirl because she doesn't. Yeah, she loses the Batgirl persona at one point. But I guess Asian is not representative enough these days, and they decided to change.
No, because the lefties have a racial hierarchy, just like the Nazis did. And on the racial hierarchy, Asians are on par with white people.
Well, it's because Asians actually, in terms of demographics, they have the highest household income in America.
That's my point, is that they're seen on par with white people, so they can't.
Not minorities.
Not minorities as a result, you know. It seems like it, because why don't they just do the Cassandra Cain Batgirl? She's awesome, but not diverse enough. And so we'll tick off the established comic fan base by changing Barbara Gordon. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And so, yeah, as you've heard, cancelled the whole thing. It's been completely filmed. The filming is done.
I wonder how expensive it would be to buy those.
I think it was 90 million to make. That's how much they'd spent.
Look how awesome that one
I
looks.
have $20 I will give for all of the film that you've got.
I think the 70 million were the cost at the moment.
Okay, and then it was going to be another...
But if they wanted to finish it, they would need to do all the post special effects and stuff, and then if they wanted marketing and everything like that, and jumping off, that train, they decide not do sunken cost and get too deep and use it as a tax break in the end.
Which is actually genius, because that way you're not there's no risk of a loss. Instead, there's a certainty of a gain through tax break.
It's revealing on a number of issues. One, it reveals that making films for a tax break, is actually not profitable for them past a certain point. That when they invest too much money, it is far preferable for them to try and make money back upon release, which means movies earning money is still very important in the Hollywood game. So that's an interesting thing, but it also shows that there is a point that they can just jump ship and use it as a tax break as well to get back things. The question is this a sign that things might be changing?
No, absolutely not.
Oz thinks no.
Just because one leaf is blowing the opposite way to the rest of the leaves in the wind doesn't mean the wind's changing. I'm not saying the wind's just changing necessarily, but what I am saying, there's more than one leaf that we can see. You watched a movie recently that had no woke crap in that you really liked. Yeah.
With Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
We have properties that seem to just screw wokeness. We want to make something that's decent, like Reacher, like Terminal List, Top Gun, and Top Gun. Was that a wake-up call? Like, look at a movie that has traditional, wholesome, even patriotic values in it, made to be uplifting and ennobling as a true, just enjoyable film, and it made massive amounts of money. And at the end of the day, they do care about making bank, like big bank. They want the blockbusters.
Not from us, though.
Not well. Is that where the change is happening? Because the guy at DC is cleaning house. The question is, DC cancelling all this woke crap, there's signs that maybe they're not changing, This is where I look at the other side, because the Ezra Miller Flash is still going forward, and that guy is insane. Insane and evil. Like
Have they found him yet?
I think he's still on the
run. No, seriously, if they can't find him, I'm willing to actually believe he might be the Flash. If he can outrun law enforcement.
I think I saw a headline today, something about him doing another criminal thing. And they get him for release. That's the sunken cost one. I think they've dumped too much money into this that they have to just bite their lip and clench their butthole and release it to try and get anything. But it's gonna. I'm not gonna watch it. Like not with a guy like that in it. It's like, come off it. Maybe I will watch if I could find it for free, if someone is streaming, or something like that, just to see the dumpster
Do you
fire,
get
actually.
it for free? How might you do that on the internet?
Someone else's account. They might,
Yeah.
I might go to their house and watch it there.
Yeah.
But if it actually comes out on streaming services that I've already been paying for, I'm not necessarily paying for it anyway because it's just there. But the thing is, though, yeah, a lot of people aren't going to watch it, and I wouldn't go out of my way to spend any additional money to get access to it, because this guy is just a mess. And I've even heard rumor that this new Flash thing might be their film to try and reboot this DC universe. Like, no, don't do that if that's the case. This is not the film that you want to be the groundwork to reboot your DC heroes.
I feel like every single DC movie is the reboot for the DC franchise. Every single movie we get recently has just been the reboot.
They should have stuck with Nolan.
This is the weird thing about DC. It has been such a clustercluck from beginning, like with messing up. And look, the Snyderverse was a mess anyway, right? And he wasn't the guy that should be making DC properties because
he's not a good director or
not
writer.
that great, you know.
He's
and his interpretation of Superman was just awful. Okay?
He's good with like photography, but
they had the best actor for Superman ever, and they screwed the pooch with their interpretation of him. So, but then they have like the Joker, which is incredible. And so, do you think they could make Joker as the foundation of a new reboot in the Joker universe?
No.
It's too grounded, not superhero enough.
If they go superhero, they're going to break, I think, Joker. They'd break all of that.
I don't know, if they make Batman more grounded in terms of not over the top, like, the thing is though, the problem is could that Joker pose a legitimate challenge to Batman, even say the Robert Pattinson the Batman?
Robert Pattinson Batman, I think yes, but only if the Joker was surrounded by his people like all the time.
Maybe
that would be like the only way.
The other thing is that Joker from the Joker causes the inspiration of like a succession of Jokers that take up the mantle, and the Joker after him could be far more competent, because one of the things about, and it worked really well in the Joker, was that he was kind of floundering and didn't know what he was doing, and he just relied on his luck. And sometimes he showed wit, like how he escapes the cops at one point. He shows some cleverness and things, but it is him just kind of going by the seat of his pants and making things up as he goes, and that wouldn't really challenge Batman enough.
I think that and we should have a video on bloody Joker.
We probably should. Yeah.
That Joker, Joaquin Phoenix Joker versus Heath Ledger Joker, like, we don't really know where. We know that Heath Ledger's Joker gets his goons from Arkham Asylum, right? It's set in one thing, but we don't know why they have loyalty unto death for him, right? But with Joaquin Phoenix Joker, this dude literally started a cultural a cultural revolution.
Yeah.
It makes more sense.
That is a good point.
So, and Joker's always getting caught, put in Arkham, and then breaks out again. So it makes sense for him to be able to do that. And if you're a crazy people, typically know some like information about building stuff.
You're converting me on that idea, Oz. And if he relied on people, and like there was like a crazy planner that got just insanely obsessed with him and devoted unto death, that helps him do the planning work, but he is the leading face of this insanity, that could they have potential there. And so there is this guy, I forget his name, who's cleaning house at DC. He wants to rebuild this brand on focusing on Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And that seems okay. The problem is, okay, you've cancelled films, but are you firing the people who are making this crap? Because even if you want to reset everything, if you just hire the same people, you're going to just produce the same type of crap. The thing is, though, they did make the Joker.
Yeah. But the Joker did have woke elements in it. At least what someone from my political side or even further would consider woke. But
I don't think so. I don't like not built around pushing that message. It's actually built around just trying to create a world that would justify the creation of the Joker.
Well, sometimes it's not about pushing a message. Sometimes it's about just implanting the message, so your eyes see it.
To me, the Joker really felt organic in terms of what was in the world, what politics might have come up. And if it's organic, even if it could be interpreted into certain political things that I disagree with, I agree. I'm fine with if it's organic and
I completely agree. That's why I like Carnival Row. And Joker did the exact same thing. But I'm saying, like I would say with Carnival Row, had woke stuff, but it still worked for those reasons. So did the Joker.
So if people are wondering, like, we're getting on the Joker anyway, but this is like a DC discussion anyway. If people are wondering what certain things could be interpreted in terms of politics and stuff like that, people have and can use their, Joker's film as an interpretation or representation of the need of socialism, essentially. Like more government spending in healthcare and stuff like that, taking care of the needy and everything. And this is the thing, though. This is where because I'm not black and white in terms of what I believe and everything like that. I actually think some social safety nets are necessary, and the government should institute some. And taking care of mentally ill people, I think, is absolutely one of those things. I'm against how they try and raise money in that, okay?
I think a better way to take care of mentally ill people would be to find some billionaire, dress them up in all black, and have him beat the crap out of the mentally ill people every single night. That would be just think about it, Think about it.
Just think about it.
I mean, they'll eventually get to hospital, so...
So there are ways that they could reboot the DC universe, and this is the thing, right? I am against the talking point that it's superhero fatigue that is making people not go and watch. I don't believe, because I've loved superheroes my whole life. I've never got. If you give me good superhero content, I'm friggin' there. I'm so desperate for superhero content. I even tried watching a Korean show about a girl with super strength, and it was cheesy, it was lighthearted. Didn't catch me in the end, but I'm even willing to try what essentially a female. It was actually it wasn't really made for guys. It was like a more female focused love story about this girl with superpowers and stuff. I'm even willing to try female focused media just to get something decent if it might be superhero content.
Yeah, and it's not, and you'd agree, it's not just superhero content. It's basically all genres of content across all mediums.
Just give us good content and we'll be there, okay? Yeah. And so I think, they could absolutely reboot the DC universe. My opinion, like, if I was doing it, okay, who's the guy, hey, I'm an author. You could, if you want some person who can give you a quality product, you can message me, just letting you know, is reboot the DC universe in the almost 50s. You could almost go as far back as the 50s. Like, the actual time when these characters were introduced in the comic books. Like, high-budget superhero story in that period, okay? And follow their journey through history as, following somewhat of the comics of the evolution, but let people move on. But the beginning ones, in that time, with that technology, with that... And do the big superheroes...
That's actually genius, because if you had it's starting with 50s Superman with all that era of hope and, new stuff, that'd be incredible. And then you could have, Batman pop up in the 60s, and the social revolution against government in the 70s would fit with Batman vs. Superman, Dark Knight Returns, where Superman has to arrest Batman. That would be perfect!
And it would disconnect this setting from the modern woke crap.
Yeah.
We don't need woke crap.
They'd find a way. But honestly, the culture of the time that would be representing would drown that stuff out, probably.
And these superheroes, because when you're rebooting something, you're telling a story of their beginning, okay? The most natural story of these superheroes' beginning is the time when they're actually made. Take it back then, okay? This is why in my own superhero universe that maybe I've made a whole host of superhero characters, everything like that. Their beginning happens in the 20s and 30s, 1920s and 30s. And then I follow their story through the course of events. Of course, world events get changed. Everything World War I and II happen for different reasons. One doesn't even happen at all, but World War II is actually an invasion of a Superman-like being that they have to fight against. And all that,
They did the era thing with Watchmen. Remember Watchmen? The movie?
Yeah.
I really like that movie. A lot of people don't, but I do.
my favourite part of The Watchmen is the opening where they show the old school superheroes and what they do. That should have been the film for me. Give me the birth of superheroes during that time where
My favourite part was anything with Rorschach. He's just poor schizophrenic Batman. It's awesome.
So there are interesting things to try and understand from this big cancellation and stuff. Don't know where it'll lead in the future. It would be nice to think if this is a sign for change, but we would need to see more to see.
There's got to be a lot more change.
More change. And because we already have woke massive dumpster fires on the horizon with Wheel of Time Season 2, Amazon Prime, Rings of Power, but also House of Dragons and everything. We are in for a wild ride yet, people.
The world's burning.
And it goes to show you why you must always stay on watch.